Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome to the Unexplored Commonwealth. Today's a bit of a special episode because today we're exploring armor. I've never actually titled a video after armor, but today our goal is to get the legendary Freefall armor. Now, the Freefall armor in Fallout 4, well, like it says, you can pretty much fall from any height and survive. Now, normally these boots are extremely difficult to get because you need power armor and a jetpack, so it's not an item that you get until the late game, and by that point you already have power armor. However, it is actually possible to get it at the beginning of the game. This is the very beginning of my Otter playthrough, and I ran across the entire map about 7 or 8 minutes, all the way to the Mass Fusion building, as you can see here. Now, yes, the Mass Fusion building is where they are. I showed the location on the map earlier, and we'll go inside, and we will find a lot of gunners. Now, because I was a low level, this fight was actually a lot more difficult than I was ever anticipating, so be prepared for a bit of a struggle in this building. Or at least I struggled, so maybe I'm just bad at the game. Who knows? Anyways, I died, and I died, and I died, and I died again. And even when I thought I finally got it, well, I was really sad. But basically, I just slowly made my way through all of these enemies, one by one. Then finally, I got to this kind of higher section where there's an electricity trap. And you have to be really careful here, because I thought I was finished. I came in here, and I threw a Molotov at this gunner, which finished him off, easy enough. And after that, I decided to loot these gunners. I was just kind of like having a good time. There was one more gunner. I shot his arm, easy. Then I just kept on looting, and then I heard that terrible sound. So after this, I decided to target the guy with a missile launcher first. You're actually able to jump up on this little platform here if you run and jump. And then I came over here, punched him in the face, and I tried to use VATS. I didn't have any VATS because I was running, but then I just kind of shot him to death because he isn't going to blow me up at close range. And then after that, I killed his friends. So that is the best way to do it. When you come here, get rid of the missile launcher guy first. Anyways, after that, terrible situation, we can finally move on to the glitch. And I think this glitch might be a bit important for a lot of this series, because this is unexplored. We want to go to places people might not normally go to. And in order to do that, well, we like to use glitches, at least sometimes. Now, inside of this locked door is the greatest thing ever. There's no caps, there's no loot, there's nothing besides this bucket. But this bucket will help us make our wildest dreams come true. You see, in Fallout 4, because of the physics engine that it employs, we can use buckets or really any kind of junk or even a weapon to do this. We can fly. I like buckets the best because you can shoot yourself really high, really fast, and it's a lot of fun. Now, using a trash can is the most stable, as you'll see me do here, but I'm going to keep this bucket with me throughout the rest of my playthrough because it's a very special weapon. And then beneath us, we can see a guy in power armor. He actually just disappears later, don't know why. Anyways, in this next little room, there is a trash can. Now, unfortunately, trash cans cannot be put into our inventory. However, we can pick up trash cans, and this is really good for us because trash cans provide us a much more stable way to do the glitch. Buckets are fast, but trash cans are stable. As you can see here, we can just easily and slowly climb. Kind of might take a little bit getting used to. Now, I used to do this glitch a lot, but I got it back pretty quickly, but I do recommend, if you're interested, just practice it, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. The first few times you do it, it's a little awkward, but once you get the hang of it, it is so freaking easy to do, and you can have a lot of fun with it. Just make sure you save your game, because if you fall, you're gonna die, or you come to Mass Fusion like I'm doing, and, well, you get those freaking Freefall armor boots. And there it is, we are now in the Freefall armor room. Now, a couple of things about this room. There is a skeleton, as we can see here, and we have this terminal. This is the terminal of Jack Rockford, and that is Jack Rockford's skeleton in the chair. Jack Rockford worked at Mass Fusion, obviously, and he was developing an experimental new pair of boots known as the Freefall Legs. And surprisingly, he was successful. He did develop a pair of boots that allow you to fall from any height. However, at the day of the Great War, Jack became trapped on this floor, there was nowhere for him to go, and he forgot the key to the safe. And his boots, well, they were in the safe, so I guess he just starved to death up here, poor lad. Also a fun fact, the legendary effect of the Freefall Legs, as well as Jack's name, are probably a reference to the boots of Spring-Heeled Jack, a unique item in the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. But after reading that, we can pick the lock, because we know how to lockpick somehow, some way. Don't know how, we just left Vault 111, but we can lockpick, darn it. Anyways, we're going to pick that lock, get those boots, and we are free to go. We can now jump from the moon itself back to Earth, and we would survive. Now, after this, I decided to loot around this kind of top area a little bit. Now, this is a part of the main quest, so normally most players won't come to this section of Mass Fusion until much later in the game. Couldn't really find anything of interest, so I used the trash can once again to slowly make my way down. And the reason I did this, because of course I would survive the fall now, but I actually wanted to explore this upper level because there's some pretty darn good loot in this room here. There is a mini nuke, you just saw me turn away from it for some reason, and there's also a trunk with some ammunition and weapons and stuff like that. Obviously random spawn, but take that mini nuke, and after that, we are well on our way. We can pop on outside on the balcony here, get some absolutely beautiful views of Boston, and we can continue our journey across the Commonwealth. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Unexplored Commonwealth. I wanted to make this video, it's a little bit unique or different from my normal video, but I just wanted to show why I got these boots and, what I'm going to do with them. Anyways guys, if you have any recommendations for a future location or future video, please post them in the comment section below, and as always, until next time.